Testing. Testing. All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom Yabashim Yahshua Thumb to the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shema Thub Bashim Yahshua to the sisters. We are Isupk Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Hall, New York, under Commander General Yohanan. We are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group.
Right.
We teach to all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, God's chosen people. We are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And Esau, or as you know him as the white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Just so we're clear, again, we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Also, we are not affiliated with what you know of as today as the nation of Israel. That would be the so-called Jewish man, the so-called Israeli, which is the synagogue of Satan. Now, with that being said, today is the Sabbath service. We're going to be reading out of the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 7, to chapter 21, verse 2. For anybody who's maybe new to Sabbath service, we read the verses, 49 verses in the Hebrew. Priest and Officer Abad Yalo will read in the Hebrew, 7 verses in the Hebrew, then we break it down in English, and then we continue. If anybody has any comments, questions, concerns, by all means, feel free to put it in the chat. With that being said, you got anything about before we continue?
Lost.
All right, with that being said, Amijim means to rise or stand, just me and the brother here.
Life for Allah, which means to Israel. Almighty and Wapan Yahagadum, rise, stand, face the east. We're going with the prayers in the Hebrew and the English. Beginning with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shabka, Yahweh, Malakuska, Tabaa, Ratzaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratza, Bawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Natalanawa, Nakam, Call, Yawam, Basalachnawa, Kabawachnawa, Kasalachnawa, Kawawathinawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Banasaya 1, the ball, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wathapara, Lawalumia, Amun.
Now in the English, our Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come.
That
will be done.
In earth,
as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. This is the power in the Hebrew, like Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Baba Kasha, the Dunlanawa, the Ka, Arpa'a, Call, it's like a Makala, Makal, Madawa, Haka, Atzahar, Amatzazarian, Haka, Lahaquayan, Amathian, Haka, Arakawa, it's like a Tama'ala, Lagarshan, Hashim Yahushua, the Water. Hakak, which is the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please. Give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. Power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. This is blessed Israel in the Hebrew Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Barak Lanoah, Bayasha'ala, Bahabaya, Saparium, Barak, Bahasham Yahushua, the water of month. What we just said was Lord. In the
In the name of Yahushua.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
In
the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, All, Aharyam, Ayan, Daba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Bashah, Samayam, Wa'aratza, Ayathan, Lamawat, Rogaka, All Yanawam, Shamarka, Sanah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashun, Shawamar, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Zalka, Ayah, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarach, Malayala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Mukal, Rai, Yashamar, Aflapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazafka, Wabawaka, Mayata, Wa'ai, I will love.
Psalms 121 in English. I will lift my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth
thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade
Upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve
The Lord shall preserve thee
thee from all evil.
in all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time
From
forth.
this time forth
And even.
and even
forevermore.
forevermore. The Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
All the Melakah.
All the Milakah.
All Takaharash.
All Takaharash.
All the Shaqwa.
All the Shaqwa.
All Kayhana. Ayawabika.
Yabika.
Yama.
Yama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Alaimaka.
Alamika.
Yariyomwa.
Yamwa.
Sobata.
Sobata.
Wayata.
Wayata.
Yaitazabwa. Al Tazapawunika.
Al Tazapawunika.
Marwa.
Marwa.
Nakawai.
Wa.
Wanakakidam.
Kakidam.
Magoya.
Goya.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Zakar.
Zakar.
Shamyasha Allah.
Shem Yasha'Allah.
Awada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawaitazabwa.
Nabah.
Laba.
Nabah.
Yakabwa.
Kabwa.
Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Baryath.
Baryath.
Yakarafwa.
Rahwa.
Ahoya.
Ahoya.
Adamwam.
Wam.
Wayashamai.
Shemai.
Alayam.
Yam.
Awa'aba.
Abu.
Hagariam.
Goriam.
Gabal.
Bal.
Waimawan.
One.
Waimalak.
Malak.
Balashah.
Shah.
Amir Shabia.
I'm shot.
Tazawar. Gum Ashawar. Lalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Labunya. Lawat. Salah. Aisha. Lahum. Kamadyan. Kasaya. Sarah. Kayabya. Banakal. Wayash one. The son of Wa. Ba'ayan. Dara. Hayawa. Daman. La Dama. Shaitamwa. Nada. Yamawa. Kaira. Because of Ba. Because of Ba. Because of Zomanai. Call Nasiakamwa. Ashar. Marwa. Naya Rashah. Anawa. Na'awa. Alahaya. Alahaya. Shaya Thumwa. Kagogala. Kakwash. Lapunya. Raka'a. Ka'ash. Tabaira. Ya'ira. Bakalahaba. Talahat. Karayam. Kun. Dardatma. Basaira. Babasa. Bapaska. Tabahalam. Mala'a. Punyaham. Kolawan. Wayabakwashwa. Sabka. Yahweh. Yabashwa. Wayabahawa. Ayai. Wayakaparwa. Wayabadwa. Wayadaiwa. Kayata. Shamka. Yahweh. Labaka. Aywan. Alcohol. Ha'aratza.
This is Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo.
Thine
Thine
enemies
make
make a tumult.
And they that hate
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty
They
counsel
have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
and consulted
Against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off.
let us cut them off
From being a
from
nation.
being a nation.
That the name of
That
Israel
the name of Israel
may be no more
may be
remembered.
no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted
For
together
they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are confederate against thee.
Tabernacles of Edom
Tabernacles of Edom
and Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and Hagarenes
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal
Gabal
and Ammon
and Ammon
and Amalek
and Amalek,
Philistines
the Philistines
with the
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
So also was wrong
Which
with
so also was joined with them.
they have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites.
as unto the Midianites,
As to Sisera.
as to Sisera,
As to Jabin.
as to Jabin,
At the brook
at
of
the
Kishon,
brook of Kishon,
which perished at
which
Endor.
perished at
They
Endor.
became as dung for
They
the earth.
became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red,
And like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea.
Yea,
All the princes.
all their princes
As a bat.
as a bat.
And as a
Muna,
who said, let us take to
ourselves
the houses of God,
the houses of God
in possession.
Oh
my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a whip.
Make them like a whip. As the stubble before the wind.
As
the fire burns the wood.
As
the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
with thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame.
And
they may seek thy name.
Oh
Oh Lord.
Let them be
confounded.
And trouble.
Forever.
Yea. Let them be put to shame.
And
perish.
That
men may know.
That thou.
Whose name alone.
Is Yahweh. Art the most high. Over all the earth. These are the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Wa Tazab Yah. Ala Wapia Hana. Ala Wapia. Hasaranya. Hakwatazayanya. Hakahayoya. Wa Akwatyan. Yahweh. Hashem Yahushai. Water Amad.
This is the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai.
And
Michael.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohanan. The generals.
The captains.
The officers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
So be it. So
bless me. And you may be seated. Okay. All right. So for anybody who just now might be tuning in, we're going to be reading out of the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 7, to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 2. Priest Officer Abadia Allah will be reading 49 verses in the Hebrew, 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we do 7 in the English. We break down and then continue. With that being said, so we'll start 17. I'm sorry. 7.
Come on. Come on, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 7 in the Hebrew. Washarat, Bashama, Yahweh, Alahewa, Kakal, Akewa, Hala Yum, Ha'imadium, Shama Lapunya, Yahweh, verse 8, Kalakwa, Ka Kalak, Why it's like Wa Akalawa, Abad, Mama Kara Yawa, Ion, Ha Abawath. Verse 9, Kaya Ba, all Ha'arataza Ashar Yahweh Alahayaka, Nathan Laka La'a, Talamad La Aisha Wath, Katha Iwa Bath, Hagayum, Hahama. Verse 10, La'a Imatas, like Imataza, it's like Yamataza Bakar, Ma'ai, it's like Ma'ai Bayar, Banyawa, Wabawath, it's like Wabathawa, Ba'ash Kwasama, Kwasamayum, Ma'ai Wanun, Wamanak Kasha, Waka, it's like Wamaka Shapa. Verse 11, Wabakar Kabar, it's like Wakabar Washa'al, Awaba, Waya Aida, it's like Waya Da Ainya, Wadarash all. Hamathamyum, verse 12, Kaya Thai Tawa Ibath, Yahweh call Aisha all Wabagal La Hatha Wa Ibath, Ha'ala Yahweh Alahayaka, Mawa Rayash, Awa Thumb, Mapunyaka. Verse 13, last verse, Tamayum, Thaya, it's like Taha Yaha, I am Yahweh Alahayaka.
So we'll start with the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 7 to 13 in the English.
Come. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 7 in the English. Then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, and he shall be, it's like in all his brethren, the Levites do. And all his brethren, the Levites do, which stand there before the Lord. They shall have like portions to eat beside that which cometh of the sale of his patrimony, or sorry, patrimony. Verse 9, when thou art come into the land with the Lord thy God hath given thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations.
Okay, so we'll stop right there. So we'll go to like verse 7 real quick. So where it says, then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, by as all his brethren, the Levites, do, which stand before the Lord. So what this means is like, okay, so Levites, of course, at this time, these were our priests. Like this was the only tribe that were the priests at this time. Now, if there were any like other Levites that came about, maybe they weren't anointed as a priest at the time, they would still be recognized as a Levite, if that makes sense. And they would still be given the same portions as obviously as the priests, because these were at this time at least, this was the tribe that was recognized as the priests and prophets, right? So then, of course, going to verse 9, which is pretty straightforward. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, again, this is the land of Canaan that we conquered, which turned into Israel. Thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations, which we've went over quite a bit. I'm pretty sure everybody understands what this means, meaning that we're not going to celebrate pagan holidays, follow after their customs, follow after their customs. We were neither told, we had to be continuously told these things because sadly we continue to do it. Also, the land was not barren when we came to the land of Canaan. Obviously, the Canaanites and probably other neighboring nations and stuff lived there. So we had to do war with them and take over the land. Now, even though we are there are still other nations that are kind of neighboring around. So we are, I guess you could say, in proximity to these nations. And what happens when you're in proximity, you tend to kind of, if you don't have your head on the slope and you're not focused on the Most High, it's very easy to kind of take after what they do. You think it's normal now. So again, we had to be warned, hey, don't follow after these other nations. Shalom on Christ. We're going over the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 7 to 21 and 2. Right now, we just got to verse 9. He just read the Hebrew, so I'm actually going to have you, since you're here, when you come. I'm Sawab. Hey, do you want to? I'll have you read in the English. What's up here? So I'm gonna have you. Well, actually, before we continue, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll have you start Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18. Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch.
Okay, so this is talking about a few things, right? Thou shalt not be found among you any of that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. Does anybody know what that means? It's okay if you're wrong. Again, this is class, just whatever comes to mind. What do you think that means? Where it says, thou shalt not be found found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire. What does that mean? Mm-hmm. I'll give you a hint. You could think a little literal with this one.
I was going to say that that doesn't mean as in do sacrifices.
Say it again.
The sacrifices. You
Said-
sacrifice the
No child sacrifices, right? Now that sounds crazy, right? Why would we have to be told don't do child sacrifices? Because there were other nations that were doing this stuff, right? Again, the land was not barren when we got there. So there's other neighboring nations who do, I guess you could say, weird stuff. So we're being warned continuously, hey, you're not going to do what they do. So when it says, thou shalt not be found among you any of that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, child sacrifice. So you got it, all right? Or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. An observer of times. What's that mean? I'll give you a hint. It's something that's very popular today. A lot of people follow this. I feel like it's kind of giving it away. When people say, I'm a Capricorn.
I would say that's almost like they're using a zodiac sign or following things like that, as in I was born at this time, so that means I'm this type of person, or this type of spirit.
Yes. So now, what is that called?
It's a form of witchcraft. That's
I'll give you a hint. Starts with an A.
astrology.
Yep, there you go. Astrology, right? Now, somebody said, was it Shalat? If I could, through idol, demonic rituals. In a sense, yes. Yeah. Because, I mean, child sacrifice, that's demonic. That's freaking crazy. But, like, yes, you're right. You're on it. And, yes, you're on it as well. Astrology. Now, sounds funny, right? We talk about a lot, you know, pagan religions and, like, pagan holidays, like, you know, the modern-day Christian stuff. But, yes, astrology, as silly as it sounds, that is also something that is forbidden amongst our nation, right? Because you got to think how, again, it steers you away. I'm a Leo. So, you know, because I was born on this day at this time, I am this type of person. And you know how they be having apps where it be like, oh yeah, you should stay away from a Pisces because they are a water sign. You are a fire sign. And you guys don't mix well. You should avoid, like, that sounds ridiculous. Now, why is this also ridiculous? It removes the ability to take accountability for yourself. If you are somebody who is emotional, right? And you kind of got like a hot head, all right? We don't want you to sit here and be like, well, because you're a Scorpio, you know, that's why you act like that. Or oh, you're really stubborn, you know, oh, you know, it's because you're a Taurus, you know, or something like that. No, you're like that because you're like that. Don't blame it on the whatever sign you believe in, because now you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna sit here and be like, well, you know, yeah, I do got a hot head. You know, Scorpios get down. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're hot-headed, and you need therapy. You need to be held accountable for your actions. You can't go around punching people in the face and being like, yeah, I'm a Leo. That's what people do. Like people really do this. Like, they really believe in this stuff.
Right.
But you said something earlier. It's a form of what?
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. That is a form of witchcraft, because, like, no. And then, of course, or an enchanter or a witch, which is pretty straightforward, right? Like, y'all, what's that? I mean, it's really straightforward. A witch. Like, what is it?
The tarot card readers.
Thanks to water. The tarot cards. Like, people be doing like voodoo and like all these other like rituals and stuff. Look, even before I came to the truth, I don't mess with nothing supernatural. Like, no, I get spooked. I don't mess with, like, what is it called? Ouija board.
Yeah,
Be messing with this. I don't mess with that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's something. I'm glad it's not popularized anymore. But there was something specifically in the Caribbean, right? And the joke was, it's actually wild. The joke was, if a Caribbean woman makes you spaghetti, don't eat it. You know what I'm talking about, huh? Yeah. The reason why they say don't eat it is because it was believed that she put a spell in the spaghetti. And the spell was, she would put her, if she was on her cycle, she would put her essence and mix it in the spaghetti. So when you ate the spaghetti, that you will always think of her. That don't sound weird?
Can you stop saying spaghetti? I like spaghetti. I don't want to eat spaghetti next time and think about what you're saying.
Salakia, but like
Right.
that witchcraft.
Right.
Or like you hear people like they take like a hair and then they sew it into a doll, and it's like, I now have control of this person. Like, you're weird. You're weird, and we don't play that mess. The Lord don't play that mess, and you should not indulge in that mess. But to get more, I guess you could say, like, practical about it, the common theme that you see with all this is that it removes the ability to take accountability, because your mindset is the astrology. I was born on this day, so I'm like this. No, you're a mean person. You are a hothead. You don't know how to control your emotions. You can't just sit here and blame it on something else that we can't even freaking see. You're a grown ass man or woman. You need to take account. You need to stop. That's what you need to do. Also, look, if the man don't like you, okay, or if the woman don't like you, Y'all went out on a date, whatever. Okay, y'all weren't right for each other. Fine. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, unless y'all already had sex and y'all are married. But I'm talking about if y'all just went on a date, right? Sis, you don't need to get a lock of that man's hair and sew it into a doll and make, I don't know, like some love magic or whatever. Like, no, you don't need to do nothing like that. That's weird. That's very weird. And you going into uncharted territory. I ain't messing with none of this stuff. It's like, you got anything?
God, if I could. What you said, it was so heavy that these things take away the ability to take accountability. Lady, woman, sis, it's not because you're a Gemini you can't keep a nigga. You can't keep it. It's not because you're a Gemini. You're a whore. You know what I'm saying? You cannot blame your shortcomings on the day you were born, the way the stars was aligned on the day you was born. What those things also do is take away the credit from the Lord. By doing these things, by saying, oh, it's because these tarot cards told me to stay away from these people. I don't have these bad people in my life. I don't have this kind of nothing like this. The tarot cards told me prosperity is coming to me. No, the tarot cards ain't telling you nothing. That's a piece of cardboard with a picture printed on it. I'm saying that takes away the credit from the Lord. And we see what happens when you take away the credit from the Lord. Look at what happened to Moses. Moses led the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt for 40 years. And because he took away the credit from the Lord by doing what he was not told to do, he didn't even make it to the land. He didn't make it to the land of Israel. So you keep taking away the credit of the Lord and twisting the things that he gives us. You know what I'm saying? Twisting the things, twisting the signs of the stars and the way the moon is aligned. This, that, and the third. Man, the world twists everything that we have today. You know the original meaning of a rainbow is a covenant between us and the Lord that he would never flood the earth like he did in the time of Noah, right? Y'all know Adam had to read the stars to communicate to the Lord, right? Stop twisting what the Lord gives us and turning it into something vile and disgusting. Nowadays, I can't even look at a rainbow and think of the Bible. I can't even do it. We all know what we think about when we see a rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Stop twisting what the Lord gives us. Stop taking away the credit. You will worship the creation more than you would the creator. How you gonna worship the stars and the sun and the moon, but not give credit to the one that created it? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, you brought up an excellent point, especially like with the rainbow, right? Like that the rainbow was supposed to be something like beautiful, right? Like that was something between us and the Most High, but now like it's besmirched now. Like it's defiled now. Like you said, like it's sad, but like that's the truth. I feel the same way. Like you see a rainbow and it's like you have to question it. Like what is that symbolize? When you see the rainbow flag or something like that, like you took what the Lord made and it was supposed to be something glorious and you turned it into something else. Even like going back to the stars and stuff, right? Our ancestors during slavery, remember, we ain't have no GPS.
right.
Remember, that wasn't a thing back then. So what did we use to escape our plantations? The stars. But who made that though? It was Most High. It was the angels.
Top together, Gary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but then it's like you start to worship this stuff. This kind of goes into graven images and why a graven image is like it's so bad and why we need to understand what exactly that is. A lot of people outside the truth, they see us with the Dawadah and they think, oh, that's a graven image. No, a graven image is when you start to worship something. Literally, if you really think about it, anything other than the Most High. It could be anything. Something as simple as a cup. It could be a symbol. It could be food. It could be an animal. There's plenty of cultures out there that worship animals. You should not be worshiping an animal. Though I'm paraphrasing, but the Lord gave you dominion over animals.
Right.
Why do you think, like, when we walk around, don't you think it's strange? Like, there are so many animals that are faster, stronger, like way more. Like, we're not winning in a fight. Like, but then for some odd reason, a lot of these animals, they're more scared of you than you are of them. I know that sounds crazy because you go somewhere and you see a grizzly bear, you're like, oh, like I'm done for. But then a lot of times, I ain't saying all the time. I'm saying go out there trying to fight grizzly bears.
If you ever see me fight in the forest with a grizzly bear,
help me. but like a lot of times they're scared of you. But it's like, why? If I'm a grizzly bear, why would I be scared of a human? Like I'm bigger than you, right? But it's because the Lord gave you dominion over the animals.
Right.
But then you're worshiping it? No. It's backwards, right? Like you said, you worshiping the creation more than the creator. That's witchcraft. That's astrology. That's all these other pagan traditions, I would say. Don't do that. Stop.
They are good about them animals. You know, them East Indians worship cows. So much so that they'll drink the urine while it's coming out of the cow. Don't believe me? Look it up. I wouldn't advise you to look it up, but if you think I'm just talking out my neck like Kurt, you know what I'm saying, then I would advise you to look it up and see for yourself that these people actually worship these beasts that are meant to be slain and eaten. That's what these people do. Sorry.
No, you too wild. If you could, you can verse 11, 18 and 11, sure.
Khan. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 11. Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits.
Say that one more time.
Or a consulter with familiar spirits.
Keep going.
Or a wizard, or a necromancer.
Okay, so a few things. A charmer, right? Kind of goes back into like being a witch, somebody who is like taking advantage of other people. That witch stuff really is something you really should stay away from. I don't know if y'all know about I talked about it a few times. It's something called like the Salem witch trials. Anybody know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah, the Salem witch trials. So, long story short, just to prove to you how ridiculous it is. At that time, pretty much you were guilty until you were proven guilty. Like the justice system was 10 times worse than what it is now. I remember we had to read the book, but we also had to watch the movie, and it made no sense. So there was a woman. Long story short, she had a crush on a man. She wanted to be with the man. The man ain't want to be with her. So you want to know what she did? She convinced herself that, he doesn't want to be with me because he's with his wife. If he wasn't with his wife, then he would be with me. So she started accusing the wife of being a witch. No evidence, by the way. And you want to know what the whole village did? They believed her. And this was their trial, if you will. If you think the justice system is bad now, this is what they would do. They would torture you, right? Let's say, and it didn't matter if you were a man or a woman. Anybody could be accused of a witch. If you were accused of a witch, they'll say, okay, are you a witch? Of course, you're going to say no, because no. But then they'll do things like tie you to a boulder and then throw the boulder into a lake. And I'm not making this up. You can look it up yourself. Okay. If you floated, which obviously you're not because you're on a boulder, they would think you're a witch because how did you float? It must be some witchcraft, right? So then they would hang you. Or if you sank to the bottom and you died, which is probably what happened. Oh, he's not a witch, but it's like you're dead. So it's like if somebody accused you of being a witch, it was a death sentence. It was either you're dead or you're dead. There was no getting out of it, right? Then she went even farther because the wife died. He was heated. He found out that this is the woman that did that, right? He didn't want to be with her. So then she cursed him. Said, he's a witch. She mad because he don't want to be with her. And then they ended up killing him, and then she felt bad about it. You see how dumb this is? Like that, that's what kind of plays into like being a witch or like a charmer, if you will. But then there's another one, or a consulter with familiar spirits. We said this before. The word demon does not exist in the Bible.
Right.
Familiar spirits exist in the Bible, though, and that's a demon, familiar spirits. Because before you came into the truth, right, we all thought we were good people. Excuse me, we all thought we were good people. But you come into the truth, and then now, you really understand what it means to be a child of God, right? You're walking a righteous path. You know what is right and what is wrong, what you should and should not do, right? But before you came into this truth, there was somebody else that knew you, and it was Satan. Just being real, right? Satan knew you. He knew all your lust, all your deepest, darkest secrets, what you wanted, all that, right? So when we say demon, what we really mean is familiar spirit, something that brings you back. That's why we always talk about, if you smoke weed, or, if you slept with people of different nations, or whatever the sin was, right? Pagan holidays, whatever, it could be anything. And somebody is trying to bring you back to that. That is a consulter of familiar spirits, and you should stay away from them because they, on a deeper level, it's not even them talking to you. It's Satan talking through them to get you back to what you were beforehand. He don't want to see you serving the Lord. Think about it. Satan been with you this whole time. You didn't even know it. And then one day you're just like, you know what? No, I found the Lord. I'm serving the Lord. You think Satan happy about that? No, he's not happy about that. He's upset. It's like a bitter ex. Like you think you better with them than me. I know who you really are. That's Satan. So they want you back. That don't do that. That's a familiar spirit, right? And then a necromancer, that's somebody who tries to talk to the dead and stuff. Again, you're weird. No, don't mess with people like that. Don't try to talk to anybody or really dabble in the art of messing with the spirits, if you will. We don't do that here.
Right.
The dead is dead. Let it be that. You can honor that, but don't. You start getting high in your room and you're like, yeah, I talked to my grandmother. Like, no. You going down a weird path. And trust me, that's not your grandmother talking to you. That's somebody else. Why do you think they got all the movies? All them scary movies, like it'd be like what, like Insidious and like all them scary movies.
Right.
And like half the time, like they think they're talking to a loved one, and then it's like it's a monster or like a demon. Like that's what that is. And that demon is trying to tell you, to talk to your grandmother, you gotta keep getting high. So you're gonna keep getting high, keep getting high, keep getting high. Until now you on the street homeless because you done spent your rent money on drugs. Now you in rehab. And it sounds crazy, but this is what happens to people. So again, the Lord don't want that for you. You got anything else?
If I could too, a story about familiar spirits and why we shouldn't speak to them. It's an account in the Bible where a king named King Saul, we always bring this man up, but went to try and consult with a woman who supposedly knew how to speak to familiar spirits or, call upon the dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she tried to call upon the prophet Samuel because he had died, and the Lord stopped dealing with Saul. So none of the prophets had answers for him. No one can solve the problem he was going through, right? So he then tried to consult this woman. This woman then, some way, somehow, through the power of the Lord, she finally sees this familiar spirit. She gets so scared. Why does she get scared when she's, talking to Samuel? It's because this woman never did this a day in her life. This is the first time she'd ever seen something. She was scared because she was a liar. She was a phony, like Mother Cleo. You know what I'm saying? The Lord showed that woman that and showed Saul that to like as a as a checking. And it scared him. It scared her because she ain't never seen nobody come back from the dead ever. She was a liar. That's why when you read that story, it said it frightened her. It said that she seen someone, you know what I'm saying, and King Saul took it that it was Samuel. I see Samuel's talking to me from the dead. No, not at all. That's why the scripture said, that's why Christ said, let the dead bury the dead. The dead know nothing. Why? Because they're dead. They're gone. You know what I'm saying? Not to sound harsh about it, but it's nothing they can do for you. You know what I'm saying? After they're gone, they're gone. Period, point blank. Sorry. What verse you want?
Verse 12.
All right, keep going.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 12. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Verse 13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God.
Right, thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. These things are abominations. A lot of these things are punishable by death. If you get caught doing these things, if you get caught claiming to be a witch or claiming to be a soothsayer or claiming to be someone who messes with the arts or this, that, and third, it's punishable by death. Your life is going to get taken from you. That's why it says these things have to be removed from among you, because this is going to start to spread. If one person gets successful in it, guess what? It's going to spread like a disease. It's going to spread like cancer. If you're going to see one man doing it and so-called being successful at talking to the dead, guess what? Now the nigga next door going to try and do it. You know what I'm saying? And then so on and so forth. It's going to spread. That's why these things are punishable by death. Things have to be cut off from among us because we have to be perfect. And doing these things are not perfect, or does not make us perfect. Why? Because these are not the laws of God. It goes against the law of God. That's why these things have to be cut off from among you. Sorry, sir.
I don't got nothing on that. You can continue. We are verse 13.
That was in the verse 14.
Oh, you're at verse 14. Okay, so we'll stop there. So he'll read in the Hebrew, and then after that, I'm gonna have he gonna read in English. So we're at the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 14. So 14 to 20.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 14 in the Hebrew, Kaya, Hagayam, Ha'ala'a, Ashar'ath, Yarawash, Yawarash, Awatham, all, Ma'ina, Nayam, Wa'al, Kwasamayam, Yasha Ma'aiwa, Wa'ath La Khan, Nathana Laka, Yahweh Alahayaka, verse 15, Nabaya, Makwarabak, Ma'akyaka, Kamanaya, Yakwayam, Laka, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Allah Yahweh, Allah Yahweh, Dashama Ayuwana, verse 16, Call Ashar, Sha'alah, Ma'ayma, Yahweh Alahayaka, Bakarab, Ba Yawam, Hakwahal, La'amar, La'a, Asap, Lashama'ai, Ath Hawar, Yahweh Alahaya, Wa'ath, Ha'asha, Ha'ash, Hagadar, Haza'ath, La'a, Araha, Iwad, Wala'a, Imawath, it's like Amawath, verse 17, Waya Amar, Yahweh Allah, it's like Alayah, Hayataba, it's like Hayataya Bawa, Ashar, Dabarwa, verse 18, Nabaya, Akwayam, Lahama, Makorab, Akayam, Kamawak, Wa Nathanaya, Dabarya, Bapayawa, Wadabar, it's like Wadabar, Alahayam, Athkal, Ashar, Atazawan, it's like Atazawan Nawa, verse 19, Wahaya, Ha'ayah, Ashar, La'a, Yashama'ai, all Dabarya, Ashar, Yadabar, Yadabar, Bashama'ai, An Kaya, Adarash, Ma'aimawa, verse 20. Is it what verse?
Verse 20.
Okay, come on, verse 20, last verse. Aka Hanabaya, Ashar, Yazayad, Ladabar, Dabar, Shama'ai, Ath, Yash, Ashar. It's like Shamaya, Ath, Ashar, La'a, Tazawa, it's like Tazawayah, Yawa, Ladabar, Ashar, Yadabar, Bashama, Alahayam, Akaryam, Wama'ath, Hanabaya, Hahawa'a. That's it.
All right, I'm sorry, Christ. All right, so I'm gonna have you read Deuteronomy chapter 18, start at verse 14, and then we'll end at 20, but I'm not like stopping in between.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 18, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times, and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee so to do.
Okay, so what this means is right here, for these nations, meaning these other nations, right, not us, which thou shalt possess, meaning we're supposed to be over them, hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners, meaning that they listen, everything we just talked about, the astrology, the witchcraft, these pagan traditions in a sense, right? They hearkened onto this stuff. They believe in that. Even I could be wrong, but I believe astrology actually it stems to it's like Kemet or something, like something that's not us, right? A lot of these things that we see today, it doesn't originate within our culture. It originates with other people, right? We talk about it a lot of time, Christianity, Egyptology, Buddhism, stuff like that. We talk about the religions, but even something as simple as astrology, right? Witchcraft is that's not us, man. Even amongst white culture, witchcraft has always been looked at as something negative, even in other cultures. So why would it be appropriate with ours? That doesn't make any sense, right? So again, it says, for these nations which thou shalt possess, they hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, meaning us, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee so to do, meaning that we are not going to do what they do.
Right.
We are not suffered to be misguided. We have the Most High, living God, right? Because what got us up out of Egypt? As much as we want to worship that golden calf and all that other nonsense, what really got us up out of Egypt? It was men who served the Lord, the Most High, sent men and a woman, by the way, to go down there and get us up out of captivity. Witchcraft did not do that for us. Egyptology, damn sure didn't do that for us. We were in Egypt. How are you a black person and you know what it is? It's self-hate. I'm gonna get to that in a second, right? So many, I'll be honest with you, a lot of black people, we like to have ties to Africa, right? But the one that I see the most, Egypt. We are so fascinated with Egypt. You want to know why? Because first of all, it comes from self-hatred. Because you believe that Egypt, that was the superpower at the time in Africa. And we came from Africa. And we are these divine beings, so we must have ties to Egypt, not understanding that we were actually slaves in Egypt. Yeah, we dwelt in Africa, but we're different than the Africans. And guess what? We were looked down upon. So you shouldn't want ties to Egypt because we were slaves at that time.
Right.
Archaeologists, they found this stuff. They found the skulls. Priest and Officer for Wagabar, I forgot the name of the book. You might know what it is. It's a book where it actually reveals that they found the skulls of the slaves from ancient Egypt, and they described them as being of the Negroid race. So it wasn't the Jewish man. It wasn't no European, caveman over there. There was nothing like that. They wouldn't even survive out there. It's at the North Horn of Africa. Africa's hot, man. The closer you get to the equator, the hotter it gets. And usually people tend to have a darker pigmentation when you get over there. So there's no way they could have survived, especially in chattel slavery. That doesn't make sense. The point being is, you shouldn't want any ties to Egypt because we were slaves. So you thinking, oh yeah, we were the Egyptians. So we enslaved ourselves and then we got out. That doesn't make any sense. Or people getting confused. Like how are you? Some of us know that we're Israelites, but then it's like, yeah, we were the Egyptians too. So we're the Egyptians and the Israelites. Even though these are two completely different people. Right. That makes sense. Come on, man. But again, self-hatred, you want ties with like you should. You were a slave then too. Don't do that mess. And again, Egyptology did not get us out of Egypt. We were bondsmen and women there. Okay? Astrology did not get us up out of there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Witchcraft did not get us up out of there. Voodooism didn't get us up out of there. Buddhism didn't get us up out of there. The Most High got us out of captivity. And kind of going back to what you brought up earlier, once you start to worship this other stuff, it's really like a slap in the face to the Most High, because you would rather worship man-made things than worship the being that has always helped you. Even when we didn't deserve it, I'll be honest with you, we did. The reason why we even got up out of captivity is because of the promise that he made with our forefathers. I'm paraphrasing. Remember, it says he didn't save us because we were righteous. No, we sucked. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. We were ungrateful. We were complaining, kind of like today. Even when we do learn the truth, we still want to go out and go do whatever. But the Most High honored the covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right.
And the covenant that he made with Moses as well, right? In Mount Sinai. That's why he did what he did, not because we're good people. That's why I get irritated when people in the world are like, yeah, I'm an Israelite. Okay, there's been so many people that walk by camp like, yeah, I'm from the tribe of Levi. I remember it was a sister shop from the tribe of Levi. And we're like, okay, so it's like, that's great, but like, what are you doing with that? And she just kept walking. I'm like, see, nothing. Being an Israelite is cool, don't get me wrong, but are you practicing that? Are you an Israelite in here? Or is it just like, oh, I'm tribal, whatever? Stop. You got anything?
Couple if I could. Oftentimes than not, I see a lot of, our people who put hope in, they're passionate to a religion or a practice that has no future. I'm saying we do this because we do this for the greater good of our people. One, we want to see the nation of Israel be built. We want to see our people free from slavery, but we also want to see the kingdom of heaven be ushered in. That's why we do this. We see a future in this. Why would you put your hope in something you see no future in? You want to be an Egyptologist so bad and want to be a part of the Egyptian empire, whatever the hell it is so bad. Go do it. Go to Egypt. Egypt is nothing but a pit of sand. It's not going to be rebuilt. The only reason why it was so great back then is because we were in slavery. If you want to be a part of all these things that have no future, that have no promises, no hope for nothing coming from you or nothing coming to you, it's just what the scripture says, just vain philosophy. Mm-hmm. You're just doing it because it sounds good. It's lip service. You're not doing nothing with it. There's nothing coming from that. Not only we're not doing this just for the benefit. We want to see our people get built back up. Egyptology ain't building no people up. They ain't building nothing. We're just gonna try and build up a kingdom full of Arabs. They're not even the real Egyptians, by the way. If you ain't know that. A Greek. Mm-hmm. Cleopatra was a Macedonian. She wasn't even African. So why would you want to be a part of something that has no future? Christianity has no future. Catholicism, no future. Islam, no future. Because when Christ come back and y'all see that, them niggas yelling on the corner dressed up like Power Rangers and garments and all this leather, you know what I'm saying? Gird about the paps. When y'all see us, when y'all see what we're saying coming to fruition, what Commander and Hannah have been saying for the past 40 years coming to fruition, guess what? Then you're going to understand that what you were in had no future, had no hope. It showed no signs. It had no fruit. So when Christ come back and crack that sky, remember that you told them niggas on the corner they was crazy. Remember you cussed at them, you threw water at them. You know what I'm saying? And you yell and you walk past and yell something stupid and kept walking. Just remember that. That you it was involved in something that had no future. And now your future is going to be either death or slavery. It's like
You too long? It's real though. You can keep going. Verse 15.
Like I said,
Oh, go ahead.
Excuse me, that book that also the Walker Ball was talking about was speaking of without sanctuary. But that's for America. I don't know if he was talking about the one that's for things found in Africa, but I know he talked about the book Without Sanctuary. That one was talking about had photographs and talk about things slavery in America.
Okay,
he
so
talked about that.
he might have that one too. I don't think it was that one. It was specifically about finding the remains of the enslaved people at the time when the Egyptians were in power. But I believe he has that one too. But the water though. But again, like it just goes to show, like again, you shouldn't want to be any of this stuff. Like when you really learn your history, because a lot. I'll be honest with you. Before we continue, I'm gonna have to go to verse 15 in a second. A lot of the things that we follow really stem from self-hatred. Like when you really get down to the nitty-gritty, you gotta think like by the moment you're born, you're already being stereotyped. Like that's real. That's a statistic, by the way. They're already gauging. I think they say like if a black boy is like 3 times more likely to go to jail at some time in his lifetime, and the statistics might have risen by now, right? But it's like they're already putting that on you, right? The Eurocentric beauty standards that are not just in America, by the way, but they're almost everywhere. Like for example, why do you think them Asians, like the Koreans, the Japanese, Chinese, a lot of those Asians, do y'all know that they be bleaching their skin? Like they do that stuff, like the Korean skincare and all that stuff. They bleach their skin. They buy products to make themselves look white because in their eyes, white is right. Even in their culture, right? They self-hatred, right? But why is that though? Because of this plague that is Esau that continues to push out this idea that they are the superpower. So you got to think, a lot of us, we have some type of ties to slavery from our ancestors, right? Brought over to different lands, culture taken away from them, the whole works, right? And then the same people that did that are showing you like, oh, this is what it means to be beautiful. This is what it means to be rich. This is what it means to be a man. And you subconsciously start to think like, I need to be that. I need to straighten my hair. Meanwhile, your hair look like this, right? I need to bleach my skin. That's actually very big in the Caribbean, which is actually really sad. Or the mejuhare raza, which means to better the race, which a lot of Hispanics, that's within the culture to be, what they really mean is to marry white, because the Spaniards came over and all that stuff, right? The caste system. The whiter you look, the better you are, right? But then you still want to claim the culture, right? And then you wondering why your descendants like look a certain way or whatever, right? That's what you think. That's what it stems from. Going back to the Egypt, you believe in that stuff because one, we don't know our history. Number two, that's like the only thing that you could think of. Like we were enslaved in Africa, but Egypt was a superpower. You know, we're that, not knowing that they had us in captivity. And like you said, even now, the original Egyptians ain't even there anymore. For me to be honest with you, like a lot of them are Grecian. So you want ties to those people? You want, even if the original Egyptians were there, they were the original slave owners. They like think about it. They owned slaves before Esau did. And you want to be with them when you really think about it. But if you know that, you still want to. Like, it's like I won't be too long. But just that's why it's important to get in the truth. You have to learn your history. Like, you can call us crazy for us believing that we're Israelites. That's cool. We'll be a fool for Christ. I'm cool with that. I'd rather be that than be an Egyptologist or be walking around thinking that we was kings. Yeah, we was kings. Or I'm having a bad day. My mood's kind of off. It's because I'm a Pisces. It's a moon sign.
Venus is
wait
in
till-
retrograde.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's saying I should stay away. You know what? My zodiac sign is telling me I should not go outside today. So you know what? I'm not going to go outside. I look like a damn fool. Like, come on, slide. But we'll continue. You can go to verse 15.
Verse 15. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken.
Okay, so right here, all throughout history, the Most High doesn't deal directly with the nation of Israel, if that makes sense. There's always a mediator, a priest, a prophet, right? We watched it with Moses. The Most High didn't just go to Egypt and like just said, I'm taking y'all out of Egypt. No, he sent men over there and he dealt with those men. Moses was talking to the Most High. Aaron was talking to Moses. And Aaron it was Moses too, don't get me wrong, but Aaron was kind of like the minister of Israel, right? It's like a chain of command, right? It's like in the military today, you have like your commanding officer, which is actually the president. You have your I'm trying to remember. It's been so long, so like you have like your XO, your CO, you have your chiefs, depending on like what branch you're in, all that stuff, right? You have a chain of command, right? And it just goes up, which talks about that in the Bible too, because over the head of every man is what? It's Christ. Over Christ is who? The Most High. Who over every woman is what? Man. Over the child is who? The woman, right? It's a chain of command, right? So with this, the Most High is pretty much going to raise up another brother, again, our people, who is going to be the mediator, be the priest, the new priest and prophet, and he's going to deal with that person when it comes to the nation of Israel. We always had a mediator. Does that make sense? Okay, so we can continue.
Verse 16. According to all that thou desire of the Lord thy God in Horeb, in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not.
Keep going.
Verse 17. And the Lord said unto me, they will well spoken that which they have spoken.
Okay, so this is kind of going back to in Mount Sinai, right? When Moses was given the covenant, right? It's really for us, but this is to remember what we did. What we did was wrong, in a sense. We didn't believe in the Most High, and a lot of times, if you think about it, like I'm paraphrasing, a few times in the Bible it describes that we can't look at the Most High, like physically we can't. Like he's just, our brains cannot. We can't do it. We'll freeze in fear. Some of us will die trying to look at the Most High, right? That's why he deals with certain men to deal with us. That makes sense. But we have to remember what happened over there. Like, look, the Lord's about to get rid of us. All right, we tend to say all the time he's going to make Mosesites. It's going to happen. All right, but we have to remember that. You already finished verse 17. You can go to verse 18.
Verse 18. Come, sir. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren.
Meaning this prophet got to come from our people, right? Again, once again, you don't follow other nations. It doesn't make any sense. Esau enslaved us. So how is an Edomite going to save us? Why are we still worshiping white Jesus? Why are we still finding ways to, I call it mental gymnastics, because people like to kind of dance around the main point because they never want to tackle what the main point is, because they would disrupt their entire belief, right? You sit here, you go to a Christian church, right? You know the history. They teach it in school. They teach you that white people enslaved black people. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this, to the point that some other nations don't want us to forget that we were enslaved, right? But then you go to church and follow a religion that was forced on your ancestors, and then you're worshiping an image that doesn't even look like you. And then when people bring this up to you, we always get the same answer. It doesn't matter what color Christ was. The truth is, it shouldn't have mattered what color Christ was, right? But now it does matter.
Right.
Why? Because if the Bible is describing him as unto burnt brass, I'm paraphrasing, right? Brass looks, I mean, almost similar to this, but if it's burnt, it gets darker, right? Darker, probably like my skin tone are darker. And you mean to tell me he had hair like wool, but then you showing something that looks completely different. It doesn't even match up. If you look at a map, again, going back to just how genetics work, and like everybody that's close to the equator, what is it? It's hot, right? Everybody that's close to there usually has darker skin. Why? Because you're exposed to the sun more. We're talking about genetics here. Like you have more melanin in your skin, so why? To help survive through the UV rays of the sun emits, right? If you people who lack melanin, aka white people, their genetics are different. They're not exposed to the sun like that. That's why they're living in caves and stuff. So their skin, actually, this is why they get sunburned. Their skin stores vitamin D. We absorb vitamin D from the sun, but theirs stores it. Why? Because they don't have sun exposure. But overexposure to the sun, it burns their skin. It's like it overloads their skin because it's too much. They can't handle it. So you mean to tell me, we know that Christ was from Nazareth. Yeah, you from a hot region. And you mean to tell me Christ like a white boy? With a thin nose and stringy hair? That doesn't match. That does not work. That's like taking a snow leopard and you put it in tropics somewhere. That thing won't die. Why? Because he's not made to be there. He's meant to be in the cold. That's where he's meant to be, right? But I digress. Like that's really the whole point, right? Again, this is why we have to understand that. We have to understand our history. And again, right here it says, I will raise them up, a prophet from among their brethren, our people, not Caesar Borgia, not any of these other idols that y'all want to follow. If they not us, they can't save us, right? And then even of them, they have to be anointed by the Most High.
Right.
It's like, you got to think of
that image of that Caesar Borgia is such a wicked image because not only was that man a white man and not the image of Christ, but he was also he was Leonardo da Vinci's lover and a practitioner of incest. So not only was he in love with another man, he was also in love with his sister. And his father was the Pope, and they were also a crime family. Look it up. If you're going to look up images of Caesar Borgia, you're going to look at that image and be like, damn, this looks hella familiar. Yes, bozo, because that's the image of Christ that they put in every Black and Hispanic's house. You know what I'm saying? So that image is just so wicked and evil for you to take credit and take the image and take the likeness or claim this is the likeness of what the Son of God looks like. You know what I'm saying? If you control a man's God, you control that man.
Mm.
So if we're going to worship an image that looks like you, guess what? We're going to worship you. Why? Because you look like our God. You look like what you tell me the man that came and healed the world and came and died for our sins looks like. Now you become the master. Now you become their God. So that's why they put that image of white Christ. It's funny how they always put it don't matter what Christ looks like. Then why aren't there no Asian Jesus then? If it don't matter. If Christ can be whatever he wants, then can Christ be a homosexual? Because that's what they like to say. Christ can be whatever he wants. Can Christ be? Can he be an animal? Can he be purple? You know, like say he olive skin. So you telling me Christ was green? It's only two different color olives. So you gonna tell me Christ is green? And it's crazy. They don't admit that he was green before they admit he was black.
Oh yeah, they say olive skin.
Olive skin. Yeah. Dummy.
What does that even mean?
Olives are black.
Exactly. So like you snitched on this.
Like. But yeah, that image and the stealing the likeness of what the Son of God looks like is just a wicked thing, and they do it to keep you oppressed. It's another tool that America has, developed to keep us, in the chains of Christianity that we can't some way somehow cannot let it go. We forgot everything about slavery but Christianity. It's like,
we can. That's all I got on that. So you keep going on.
Verse 18, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
Now I want to just highlight something real quick. I ain't gonna be too long. and will put my words in his mouth. Meaning what? The Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments are going to emit through that priest and prophet's mouth. That's why when you see anybody that contradicts the Bible up there on that podium at these mega churches, at these Christian churches, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever their religions are, right? And they try to tell you something that goes against what the Most High stands for. Like you gotta understand. I've seen on the internet there's gay priests. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Again, you know how I talked about earlier about, with the rainbow, right? The rainbow was supposed to symbolize something beautiful, but now that has been taken away, right? And now it's been made into some abomination. I promise you, it was a gay priest, and he had on the LGBTQ suit. He had a suit, but it was a rainbow suit. And then he's over there preaching the word of God. I'm telling you right now, he was not preaching the word of God. He was not doing that. But he wants you to believe that, though. So this is why, like, I'm paraphrasing. The Bible says you got to try that spirit. You have to, all right? Trust not just in word, but in deed. Because I can sit here and say whatever I want, but then it's like if I'm doing the exact opposite of what I'm telling you, it's like I don't have any credibility. Like, let me ask y'all something. What if a homeless man came up to you and told you, like, hey, I know how to make $1 million, would you listen to him? Why?
He's homeless.
He's homeless. He don't got $1 million. So how is he going to teach y'all how to make $1 million?
He ain't gonna teach you the method he not following.
For real. Like, that'll make no sense. But that's the same when it comes to the Christian church and all these other religions. They go and sit here and say, yeah, you could do this, you could do that, but then it's like in the Bible it says something different. You say, like, you gay. It like you trying to teach me the Bible, you're literally, like, you're sinning right now. But you feel like you have a relationship with God. That's what they like to say. You have a relationship with God.
God knows my heart.
Yeah, he knows your heart already. And you have the authority to tell me how I should be living my life as you are a sinner. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to listen to a homeless man tell me how to make $1 million. You're not a millionaire. You say you trying to teach me a method that you ain't never even followed your damn self. That doesn't make any sense. But we have to understand these things because sadly we fall into these traps too many times, and it still happens today. We see it's slowly, but hey, progress is progress. We're waking up, but we got to keep waking up, brothers and sisters.
Right.
Because they still gonna go out into the world and think like, I'm good. You want to abide by what, again, following other nations. You want to live like how the white man lives. Look, how the white man lives ain't got nothing to do with you. Right. That works for him. He can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. He'll be perfectly fine. He might live to like 95. That's just, he can do that. That's him. He can go around sleeping with whores. He can do that. He can commit crime and get away with it because he does get away with it, right? You try to form a gang, you go into jail. They got gangs too. It's just the military. That's all it is. Ain't nothing but a gang. Just a big gang. They don't take over a neighborhood. They destabilize countries. That's what they do, right? But they can get away with it all. They got all these treaties and paperwork. And, they know. But my point is they can do this stuff. You can't, though. If you don't believe me, why do we get punished for it? White men get to get away with it most of the time. We try to do what they do now. All of a sudden, you in jail. Like there's a white man out there who is like money laundering, and he 50 years old, living in a mansion. He good. You get 30 years for weed.
And then they make weed legal.
Yeah, that ain't that crazy. Weed is legal, but you still gonna go to jail for weed. I'm just saying. It's like, let's see, you got 19.
It's like yourself.
Go ahead.
Don't forget the other gangs, the judges.
Oh yeah, all of them. The police force, all right, because that's made after what the slave patrol in the Carolinas. Right. You can go do your research. Right. Judges, because guess what? All them people, those are your neo-Yazis. Those are your KKK members. Those are your white nationalists. Don't believe me? Why do you think they wear masks? Because those are your teachers. Those are your firefighters. Those are your caregivers. Those are your nurses. Those are your doctors. It's just they're too afraid to show how they really feel about you. So they put on a mask and go play pretend. Since y'all want to call us Power Rangers. There's your wannabe Power Ranger right there. They got to wear a mask to push the. We ain't wearing masks. Our faces are right here. We go out there, the most we might have on is some shades. It's about it, but we still here. So out here. You can continue on.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 19. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him.
Pretty straightforward. Last verse, you can go to verse 20.
Verse 20. But the prophet, which shall presume to speak a word of my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
Ooh, we did what? Look, this is not a game, y'all. Like, we laugh if you want to. When we ask brothers, when they get anointed with that, well, are you sure you want to do this? Again, it is not to psych you out. It is not a like, oh, we're trying to check your spirit. Like, no, we're not trying to. We're really asking, like, are you sure you want to do this? Because what you are doing is you are taking an oath, not to us, to the Most High, that you are going to be a priest and prophet, and you are going to regurgitate the law, statutes, and commandments that he made for us. And you cannot change that.
Right.
You as a priest cannot go out there and start saying like, oh yes, it's okay. Like, you should leave that man because he treated you wrong. But it's like, y'all already done had sex. So like, that's your husband. Because you're promoting a whore. Or like, oh, she getting on your nerves out. Yeah, you can just leave or whatever. Or, I know you feeling some type, you can smoke this real quick. Or you know what? It's okay. Love is love. You can be with whoever you want to be. It doesn't matter about their race or their gender. That's what, no, you can't do that. Because surely you'll die. Oh, and trust me, it's going to be worse for you. You want to know why? Because you know better. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but those who know the law, it's better that you have never known it. Because, like, yes, you're still going to be punished because you're still Israel at the end of the day. But it's like, well, a child. You tell your child, like, hey, stealing is bad. Your child knows that stealing is bad. But then they steal, even after you already taught them stealing is bad. Now the punishment is going to be greater because they knew better. You know better. That's why we ask you, are you sure you want to do this? Because this is what you're signing up for. We're not going to try to paint it any other way for you. We're telling you what it is right now. This is a serious job, and it is not to be taken lightly. And guess what? You don't get paid for it in money. People are going to not like you. You're going to lose friends, might lose family. Hell, there's been brothers who have lost ribs. There's been sisters who have lost husbands, which is crazy. I'm like, wouldn't you want a God-fearing woman? But hey, that just says a lot about that brother, I guess. That's what you have to deal with in here. It's hard. It's very difficult because you are required to change. Sometimes change is difficult. So that's all we're saying. It's a lot here. Somebody put some. Oh, okay. Change. Yep. Exactly. Okay, so that's it for that. You got anything else?
No, sir.
All right, so we'll just continue. So you'll verse 21. So 21 to. So you'll read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 21 to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 5.
Come on. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 21 in the Hebrew. Wakaya ta'amar balabavaka ayaka ha nada'ai ath hadabar ashar la'a dabar wa Yahweh, verse 22 ashar yabat. It's okay. Yadabar hana baya'a bashama Yahweh wala'a Yahweh. It's like Yahaya hadabar wala'a yabawa. It's like yabawa'a hawa'a hadabar ashar la'a dabar wa Yahweh baza the one dabar wa. Hanabaya, it's like Hanabaya La'a, Thug of War, Mama Nawa. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Kaya Yakarath, it's like Yakarath, Yahweh Alahayaka, Atha, Hagawayam, Ashar, Yahweh Alahayaka, Nathana, Laka, Ath, Aratazam, Yara Shafma, Waya Shabath, Ba'ira Yahum, Waba Bath Yahum, verse 2. Shalawash Arayam, Thaba Dayal, Laka, Bathawak, Arata Zakai, Ashar Yahweh, Alahayaka, Nathan, Laka, Lara Ashath, Lara Ash, La Arashath, verse 3. Thakayan, Lakal, Hadarak, Washa Lashath, Ath, Gabawal, Arata Zakat, Ashar, Yanakal, Yalak, Yahweh, Alahayaka, Yahaya, Wahaya, Lana Was, Shamaha, Call Ratazak, verse 4. Hazahad Dabar, Haratazak, Ashar, Yanawas, Shamaha, Wakaya, Ashar, Yaka, Af, Ra'aiwa, Ra'aihawa, Babala, Laya, Da'aith, Waha, Wa'a, La'a, Shana, Lawa, Nathamar, Shalasham, verse 5, last verse. Wa Ashar Yaba'a Ath Ra'ai Hawa Ba'ai Sagabaya Baya I Ba Ya I Ra La Kataba Aitaz Ya Itazayum Hanadaka Yadawa Bagarazun Lakarath Hai Aitazah Wanashah Habarzah Hamana Ha'aitazah Hamatazah. It's like Wamatazah Ath Ra'ai Hawa Wama'ath Hawa'a Yanawas all Akath Ira. It's like Ha'ira Yum Ha'alaha Wakaya.
All right, so switch to I have Michael here will read. So Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 21 to 19 and 5.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 21. And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord hath not spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken. But the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him.
Okay, so this, I'm going to say this. Commanding General Yohana has already prophesied a lot, right? And when we say this, right? When we speak of prophecy, we're really just telling you what's in the Bible.
Right.
That's really all it is. Like, we talk about witches and wizards and stuff, right? Commanding General Yohana didn't just wake up one day and just magically say, like, there's going to be World War III at some point. He didn't just make that up. No, he got that from the Bible. And then look at what's happening now. See, the thing is, what people need to understand is that, yes, there was a World War II, there was a World War I. No one's going to say, this is World War III. No one's going to say that this time. No, we're already at war. We've been at war. Why do you think, Trump, he wants an alliance with the nation of Israel? Why do you think the Israelis are bombing Gaza and Palestine? And it was, Lebanon, actually. Lebanon. Okay. Why do you think they've been trying to go to war with Iran and we're losing? And now he's cutting off. Trump is such a big baby and he can't get his way that he's going to cut off. Because I don't know if y'all know how this works. I'm going to break it down as best as I can. Before we go to war, right? President, right? And whoever's around him, they have to converse with their neighboring countries, like who is in allegiance with them, right? So let's say if he wanted, I'm just making up something. Let's say he just wanted to go to war with like Australia or something. I don't know. And let's say our allies are the Netherlands and Ukraine and give me something else, Italy. I'm just making up something, right? What he would have to do is let them know, like, hey, like set up a meeting, like, hey, this is what my plan is. How do y'all feel about, like, they have to converse with each other. What he cannot do is just start a war with Australia, but then expect the other countries to just help him willy-nilly. Why? Because they have their own citizens. They got their own laws. They got their own country to worry about. They can't just prioritize the United States. Well, that's kind of what happened. The other neighboring, mostly European countries that are in alliance with the United States and Trump, he actually broke those alliances, and he's still in the process of breaking them. Why? Because he did what he wanted to do. He just went to war with Iran. They didn't agree with it.
Right.
They were kind of like, yo, like, what are you doing? So now he's looking around like, hey, y'all need to help me. Like, think of it like this. Imagine you going out with your boys or whatever, right? And there's like somebody over there. And you, for whatever reason, decide, I don't like that person. And you go fight them, right? Now, let's say you, excuse my language, start getting your ass whooped. Now you look into your friends like, hey, y'all gonna help me? We like, bro, why the hell did you just punch him in the face? Why'd you do that? Now we gotta be on your side because you wanted to act a fool. That's what he did.
Right.
That's not what was supposed to happen. But you see, again, prophecy, Esau is in his last days. He's showing you why he should not be in charge, because look what he does. You just starting wars, what, for what? Really, it's for resources, because, there's oil and stuff. It's the whole thing with Venezuela and why they were attacking that oil tanker. It's a whole thing, right? That's a whole different topic. But my point is, the Commander General Hana already prophesied that there was going to be a World War III. It's just not going to be called World War III. That's all it is. And look what's happening. Wasn't it prophesied in the Bible that we were going to be brought to a land that was not ours for, approximately 500 years? Well, I mean, we've been here since like 15, whatever. Like, we've been here forever, but we were brought over here. Did we originate over here? No. We're brought here on ships, which is, again, in the Bible. And we were going to be called bywords, again, in the Bible. Everything that's happening today is in the Bible. But then you think that this is fake. No. We're telling you what's happening. Slakia, you got anything out?
Lost.
You go ahead.
Kana. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 1. When the Lord thy God hath cut off the nations whose land the Lord thy God giveth thee, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their cities and in their houses, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. Verse 3. Thou shalt prepare thee a way, and divide the coast of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither.
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the case of the slayer, which shall flee thither, that he may live. Whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hateth not in time past. As when a man goeth into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetcheth a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slippeth from the hills, and lighteth upon his neighbor that he die, he shall flee unto one of these cities and live.
Before we continue, got anything else?
Lost.
All right, so we'll just continue in the Hebrew. So you'll go over 6 to 12.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 6 in the Hebrew. Pana Yaradapa Ga Hadoma Akarya Haratazak Kaya Yakama Laba Bawa Hawas like a Wahag Shaya Gawa Kaya Yaraba Hadarak Ha like Wahaka Hawa Napash Walaha Saga Walawa Ayan Mashapat Mawath Kaya La'a Shana'a Hayawa Saga Hawa'a Lawa Matha Mawa Shalashawam Shalashawam. Verse 7, Al Kana Ankaya Matazawak La Amar Shalash Shalasha Irayam Thabadaya Laka. Verse 8, Wa'amad Yarakayab Yahawa Alahayaka Athgabaka Ka Ashar Nashaba'ai La Abathika Wanathan Laka Ath Ka Arataza Ashar Dabar Lathath La Abathika. Verse 9, Kaya the Ashamar Ath Ka Amatazawa Hazahath La Aishatha Ha Ashar Ankaya Matazawak Ha Hayawam La Ahabaha Ath Yahawa Alahayaka Wala Lakath Badarayak Sagabadak Ba Darakaya Wa call. Hayamayam, Wayasapath Laka I Wadash Salash Arayam Al Hashalash Halaha, verse 10, Wala'a Yashapach Dama Nakwaya Bakwarab Arak Zaka Ashar Yahweh Alahayaka Nathan Laka Nakar Wahaya Al Yaka Damayam, verse 11, Kaya Yahweh Ayashana Labra I Hawa Wa Arab Lawa Wakoma I Al Yawa Wahaka Wa Napash Wamatha Wanawas, it's like Wanasa All Akath Ha'iriyam Ha'al, verse 12, Washalakwa Zakwanaya Iriyawa Walaka Wa Athwa Mashama Wanathanwa Athwa Bayad Gar Hadama Wamatha.
12. Come on, that's it. All right, no sign Christ. So we'll switch. I have you read from verse 6. Before you start, though, I just wanted to go over something real quick because we kind of like skip past it. So what we're talking about right now is like from 2 to 5, right? So it says, I'll just go over real quick. Verse 3 says, "Thou shalt prepare thee a way and divide the coast of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to inherit, into 3 parts, and every slayer may flee thither." So this is talking about like the expansion of like the territory, right? Like this is the nation just growing over time, right? Like more people are starting to expand certain territories. What it's talking about, the slayer, right? Now this is obviously it's talking about like a murderer. Now there are certain laws that are put into place, right? So it says, I'm going to go up real quick. Verse 2, "Thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it." Again, expansion, right? Verse 3, "Thou shalt prepare thee a way and divide the coast of thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither." Verse 4, "And this is the case of the slayer, which shall flee thither, he may live." Now, we're talking about a murderer, right? Why would a murderer live? "Whoso killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past." What this is talking about is premeditated murder. So let's say, like, you sadly took somebody's life by accident, but it's really by accident. Like you're driving, maybe you didn't see somebody, or like just like a freak accident happened. The Lord is not going to look at you like you are punishable by death. You're an evil person. That's not what this is talking about. Now, if you are somebody that killed somebody because you hated your brother, that is premeditated murder. Now, you are an evil person and you will be judged. That makes sense? So this is kind of going over like if an accident were to happen, that brother is protected because it's like what happened really was an accident. If that makes sense. Like the Lord isn't going to kill this man because of what happened, because it was not intentional. But if it was, well, you kind of get the picture, right? And he kind of gives an example in verse 5. "And when a man goeth into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetcheth a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slippeth from the helve," meaning like if y'all chopping wood or whatever, and then like the axe slipped from your hand and it hits him in the head and he dies. Freak accident. That is not premeditated murder. The Lord is not going to judge you as an actual murder. That makes sense? Okay. So now we can go to verse 6. Go ahead.
If I may, that just shows how righteous our Lord is. You know, just be thinking of everything. Because I mean, us in our I wouldn't even think of an accidental murder. What can I do for this person? How much because it's an accident. So you want to, so man, that's just heavy. Just going over that.
No, Most High in Christ. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Like pretty much, this is like the beginning of our nation in a sense. Like this is our society. Like so, there are certain things that have to go in place. But yeah, no, you're right. Because like most people wouldn't even think of that. Like, oh, what if this happened? The Lord already got something in plan for that.
This is the Salaki. So you said verse 6.
Yeah, verse 6 to verse 12, and I might stop you.
So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 6. "Lest the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer, while his heart is hot, and overtake him, because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, inasmuch as he hated him not in time past.
Okay, so this is saying, lest the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer. So let's say accidental murder, right? But then let's say that person's family member, while his heart is hot, meaning like today they'll call it what it is, like it's a phrase that they use. It's like impassioned.
Crime of passion.
Crime of passion, thwart. Yeah, crime of passion. So this is this, right? While his heart is hot and overtake him, because the way is long, and slay him, meaning this person accidentally killed this person. But let's just say this is this person's brother, right? And he's like, nah, you killed my whoever. And he goes after you, kills you, right? Whereas he was not worthy of death, meaning, again, it was an accident. He did not intentionally try to take somebody's life. This was not supposed to happen, right? Inasmuch as he hated him not in time past. You can keep going.
Verse 7, wherefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee. Verse 8, and if the Lord thy God enlarge thy coast, as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy fathers.
So again, just expanding. You keep going.
Verse 9, if thou shalt keep all these commandments to do them, which I command thee this day, to love the Lord thy God, and to walk ever in his ways, then shalt thou add 3 cities more for thee, beside these 3. Verse 10.
If I could real quick, this is just talking about, this is allowed, of course, as long as we follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Like we can continue to expand and have our territories and our cities. You can go at verse 10.
Verse 10. That innocent blood be not shed in thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for all inheritance, and so blood be upon thee.
Right.
Verse 11. But if any man hate his neighbor, and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally, that he die, and fleeth into one of these cities.
Now, this is premeditated murder. Now, earlier we talked about somebody that took someone's life by accident and they flee into a city, right? He is not wrong. Like, he is protected because it was not intentional. But now we're talking about, but if any man hate his neighbor and lie in wait for him and rise up against him and smite him mortally, that he die, and then he fleeth into a city. Let's go to verse 12.
Verse 12. Then the elders of his city shall send and fetch him tents, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die.
Meaning what? If you go out there and you kill somebody, you kill your brother, not only are they going to get you, they're going to send for you, and you're going to be given unto the hand of the avenger of the blood, that he may die. Meaning the Lord, you're going to die. Plain and simple, right? The Lord has to get rid of you. And it kind of goes into what you brought out earlier. We say this a few times. It sounds harsh, but there's certain things the Lord just has to do. I know people are like, oh, like, how do you worship a God that would even kill his own people? It's like, you don't understand. If there is a person who is he's a murderer, right? He's a murderer. He's just going around murdering people. If God don't get rid of him, he's just going to murder more people. Right? It kind of boils down to like, the Lord is making a practical decision. Do I spare this one man, even though he's killed hundreds of people? Or do I save hundreds of people by getting rid of this one man? It turns to a numbers game here, right? Sounds harsh, but would you rather a murderer just running around? But he's our brother. Sadly, that's what a lot of our brothers and sisters do in the world. Like, y'all talking about, free him, he's a murderer. Free my, he's a pedophile. Free him, he stole from you. What are you talking about? You want to free a criminal, but like he really is like a criminal, not like, oh, like something happened and he's innocent. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about this person is a murderer.
Right.
who kills their own people. And y'all talking about some free him? No, keep him exactly where he's at. He belongs right there. Thus saith the Lord. Because it's like, y'all heard the saying before, one bad apple spoils the bunch. I know where I'm going with it. So, but these things need to happen. Got anything else? So we'll keep going. No question. Okay. Verse 13. So 13 and 19.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 13 in the Hebrew. La'a thakawas ayanaka al ya, it's like al ya wa wabo wab irath dama hakwana, it's like hana kwaya maya sha'ala watawab laka, verse 14. La'a tasayag gabawa ra'ik ashar gabalawa ra'ashanayam banakal lafka ashar thanakal ba'arataza ashar yahawah Alahayaka Nathana Laka La Arashaf Ha, verse 15. La'a Yakwawam I Kad Ba'ayash Laka Ayawan. It's like Iwana. Iwana Wala Ka Kataf Bakar Kata Ashar Yakata Al Paya Shanaya Idayam Awa Al Paya Salashaf. It's like a Salashah. Idawam, Yakwawam, Dabar, verse 16, Kaya, Yadawam, I, Kamas, Ba'ayash, La'ainawath, Ba'a, Saraha, Wa'imadawa, Shana'ai, it's like a Shanaya, Ha, Anashayam, Ashar, Laham, Harayab, Lapanya, Yahawah, Lapanya, Hakanayam, Haka, it's like Hakahanayam, Wahashapatyam, Ashar, Yahayawa, Bayamayam, Hama, verse 18, Wadarashawa, Hashapatyam, Wayataha, it's like Wayatab, Hanaha, Id, Shakwar, Ha'ida, Shakwar, Ainaha, Ba'akayawa, verse 19. So he said the words. Verse 19, last verse. Wa Aisha Yatham La'aka Ashar Zama La'aisha Wath La'akaya Wa Yabara'ith. Sorry, Yaba'irath Hara'ai Makwa Rabka.
Most high Christ. All right, so we'll switch the mic. Have we read verses 13 and 19.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 13. Thine eyes shall not pity him, but thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee.
So pretty much what we just talked about, there's too many, again, in our community, and I've seen it everywhere, doesn't matter where you're from, a brother or a sister, it don't matter, just one of our brothers and sisters just actually commits a crime. We're not talking about somebody who was falsely convicted. Commits a crime, a heinous crime at that, murder. We're talking about murder. I mean, rappers be rapping about what's that dude name? This came out like years ago. Bobby Shmurda, I remember him. And he made that song, and it was like, it's literally him talking about killing people. Like he literally killed people. So but then it's like, oh, he got locked up. Oh, free him. He's a terrible person. No. But we do this though. That's not good. The Lord is telling you right here, thine eyes shall not pity him, because you are a murderer. You got exactly what you deserve. You deserve, nowadays you get locked up. Before, the Lord would just kill you. You're gonna die for what you did. So you should be grateful that you even had the ability to just be locked up. At least you're still breathing. But we will not pity him because you are a murderer. Does that make sense? We're talking about a justice system here. This is kind of again, the beginnings of our nation, making our society, if you will. You can continue.
It's book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin. And any sin that he sitteth. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established.
So again, a justice system. What this is talking about is, let's say, okay, it kind of goes back into what I was talking about earlier, how the justice system was even worse than what it is now, the Salem witch trials, right? Back then, all it took was for one person, no evidence, mind you, to just say, I think that this person's a witch. And then you're pretty much as good as dead, right? Is that fair? I could wake up today and be like, Ibad's a witch. Or vice versa. Ibad tells me, oh yeah, I just am a witch. And we're just gonna believe it. That's it. Like, no, we're not gonna go through trials. We're not gonna like gather evidence. No, he said he's a witch. All right, dead. That's dumb, right? So the Lord is saying, if somebody is accused of something, it can't just be one person. Think of like a witness. Like you need multiple witnesses. Like, hey, like this person did this, because anybody can lie, right? Hey, this brother stole from such and such. Okay, was there anybody with you? Well, no, I seen him. Now, of course, it's not foolproof, because like, what if you're right? But then it's like, well, what if you're wrong? What if you just don't like that person and you just made it up, right? You're just trying to get this person in trouble, right? Kind of goes back to you remember Susanna? I think Susanna. The sister that was accused, the sister that was accused of adultery by the false priests, right? And they tried to say like, oh yeah, we had her. They were just mad because she didn't want to sleep with them. They're freaking disgusting. But they accused her of something, and it took somebody else and obviously other witnesses to say something about her, like, hey, like, nah, that's not what happened. But it couldn't just be one person, because then it becomes like a he say she say kind of incident. So this is fair. If somebody's going to be accused of something, it has to be more than one person.
Right.
That's fair. A justice system, a fair justice system. Is it foolproof? No, but it is better than me just making up something and like everybody just taking, oh, he said this. She obviously did it off of her head. Like, no, we're not going to do that. That's great. It's a lot.
Like it says, it almost sounds like this is the start of investigating and getting evidence for a crime or something happened.
No,
So
come
it's
on.
not to be more than one person.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, because it's not foolproof. People make up stuff all the time nowadays, and it's sad, but like you said, we got to gather evidence. If somebody says something and it's like all 3 of y'all were with me, and then this person's lying on me, and I'm like, well, I got 3 witnesses, and all 3 of y'all come like, no, we were here at this time, at this address, and then it's like, okay, hold on, we got multiple people saying this, and you saying that, you ain't got no evidence. Nah, we're not going to go with that, right? It's only fair. It's like, you got anything about 42?
Lost. I'm 12.
We can go ahead. 16.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 16. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days.
You're trying to lie, right? So now, if you're somebody who's trying to lie, like let's say, I'm just making up like a random scenario. You accuse this brother of something, right? You're already lying. But then you got another brother with you, and he's like, yeah, he for sure did it, but like you're a false witness, whatever you do. And it's found out that, oh, both of y'all are lying? Oh, okay. So go to verse 18, Baba Kashar.
And the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witness be a false witness and have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he hath thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you.
Well, you're just as guilty. What they call it? They call it a caught conspiracy. I think that's what it's called. It's like, or like you're an accomplice to a murder. It's like something like that, right? Like
Guilty by association.
Guilty by association, right? Even though you might have not done it by you enabling it, or what some people do, tampering with evidence, you're just as guilty, and you will be held to the same account as that person. Right? That's fair. That really is fair. But again, the whole thing is to move these people away from the civilians. Why? we got to get y'all up out of here. Because if you're willing to do that to this person, you get away with it, then you're going to do it to the next person,
Right.
and the next person. And there's going to be people among you who see you doing this. They're going to think that's okay. And they're going to do it. And then they're going to do it. It's kind of like, I'm paraphrasing. This was when we were, this is in the book of Esther, when they had to put a certain person away because the other women were starting to view that woman and like how she was talking back and stuff. They didn't want the other women to see it because it's like, oh, if they see her doing it, then they're going to think that that's okay. Like imagery is everything. And that's why the Lord got to cut out certain things. You can't let a murderer just run amongst the community. Not just because, like, obvious why you're murdering people, but then there's going to be other people and they're going to see that person and think like, man, he didn't like that dude. He shot him. I don't like this dude at my job. I should shoot him. That's what happens with people. Let's not do that.
Right.
That's all I got. You know anything else?
Come on, this is why I always say the law of the Lord is perfect in the way that it works, in the way that we are to organize ourselves and to carry ourselves as far as being the Lord's chosen people. These things right here are to prevent anything or any excuse from being made and being said that could possibly make a murderer get away with being a murderer and he go unpunished. The law of the Lord is perfect because there is no shortcuts. There are no ifs, ands, and buts about it. There's no short end of the stick. It's all justice. Why it said the judges shall make, what's it called? Read that verse again about the judges.
Verse 18. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition.
They shall make diligent inquisition, meaning they're not going to rest until they find the truth. What did your mother used to say when you and your siblings was arguing? It's two sides of the story, or it's three sides. It's your side, his side, and then there's the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's always three sides to a story. It's what you got to say, what he got to say, and what the truth. And the judge's job is to find out what the truth is. And the only reason why they're going to find out the truth is why? It's because the Lord God of Israel is with them. It's because they follow the law. They understand the law. That's why men in the Isupk are able to give counsels, because they know how to give you counsel based off what the law is saying, based off what the scriptures say. I'm saying based off what we were told in this book and things that were written. The scriptures say things that were written aforetime were written for our understanding. You know what I'm saying? This and in this book, it's probably every scenario that could possibly, you know what I'm saying, could possibly take place today. And there's a solution for it. There's every solution is in this book. This book is the law. That's why you should study this book. That's why you should eat this book. You should take it in so that you can be able to deal with everything. Because again, the scriptures say that how can we judge angels if we can't judge small matters? You know what I'm saying? King Solomon wanted to be a righteous judge and a righteous man. He prayed to the Lord for wisdom. And then right after he prayed to the Lord for wisdom, he got into a situation where one woman claimed that another woman stole her baby. And the other woman claimed that no, she rolled over and killed her baby. This baby is mine. So King Solomon, with the righteous judgment and the righteous wisdom that he told one of his guards, you know what, go cut the baby in half and give each half to each one of these women. You know, one of the women said, the woman that actually stole the other woman's baby said, well, go ahead, kill it. Kill the baby. And the mother of the child said, no, you can give the baby to her. At least he lives. And that's how King Solomon figured out that this woman was the actual mother of this baby, because he had righteous judgment. He inquired. He did his investigation. He knew what he was talking about. And this is, again, why the law of the Lord is perfect, because these things, the law is what gives us the ability to give counsel and to understand who's lying and who's telling the truth. Captain Godalhart taught a class a while ago. He said, as you grow in this truth, your power of discernment also grows. Can somebody tell me what discernment means? Go ahead.
Your ability to judge matters.
No, not that.
Okay.
For the sake of time, I'm gonna give it to you. It's kind of like once you've been here for a little bit, I've been here for a short time. Once you've been here for a while, though, you get the power to understand when someone is lying to you. You become like a walking lie detector. Right, Trooper Shalah. He says, see through the BS. The ability to decide when, or the ability to understand when someone is a liar. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how they act. You You know what something, you know, like what a human wouldn't do when they're telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Or like, why would you do this? Like, you ever heard a lie that sounds so stupid that you be like, all right, bro, you just gotta go with it. Like, and it sometimes offend me. Like, you genuinely think I'm that stupid? Like, Negro, I can see the lie on your face. You're wearing it. You're wearing your lie. You know what I'm saying? And if you keep asking more questions and more questions, then you're gonna get to the solution that, yeah, this nigga's lying, because he didn't have to tell a whole story over and over and over again. Once you lie once, then you got to keep up with that lie. You know how you keep up with a lie? You tell more lies. You know what I'm saying? So that power of discernment, that power to understand when someone is lying, that power to understand when someone is telling the truth comes by telling the truth, by knowing the law, by knowing what the truth is, right? Or you can go ahead and keep reading.
Like I said, verse 18 or continue from verse 20.
Start from verse 18.
And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother.
Right, because why would he testify falsely against his brother? It's because he wants that man to die. That's only why you would lie on someone. It's because you want him to die. So guess what? Because you want this man to die, and you're willing to lie to have your brother get killed. Now we're going to kill you. Now you're going to be unalive. Now the Lord is going to take your life because you saw it fit to lie on your brother. Do you understand how crazy that it is? Lying on a man that looks just like you, lying on a man that you shared a womb with, lying on a man that goes through the same exact thing as you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to the court and you testify against a man and you know you got to swear on that Bible, but you lie against that man, you have to understand how wicked that is. Take that in and understand how horrible of a thing that is to bear false witness. Nigga, you ain't got no reason to lie on him. You just lying. The only reason why you lie to somebody is because you're scared of them. And brother, we fear no man. We fear the Lord God only. That's right. So what the hell I got to lie to you for? I ain't scared of you. You know what I'm saying? Fear them who can harm the body. Or don't fear him who can just harm the body. But fear him who can harm the body and the spirit in hell. And you know lying is a sin, right? Brother, I'm telling you. Keep going.
So shalt thou put the evil away from among you.
That put the evil away from among you is heavy. It's been coming up a lot in these scriptures and in this class, because these things spread. Lies spread. When you tell a lie, a false rumor, or you bear false witness against a brother, you can say, man, I seen this brother smoking. This brother smoking cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Or this brother, he came in smelling like cigarettes one time. What, he came in smelling like cigarettes? Nah, Cap got to hear about this. Like, Cap, this brother came in. His brother told me his brother came in smelling like cigarettes. This, that, third, And guess what? Now it's get to the generals. Then now this brother's his rank is being threatened. Now him being kicked out of the school is being threatened. All because you didn't like him. All because the nigga garment looked better than yours. Or all because you're a liar. Understand how hard and how horrible a lie can spread. You think you're telling a little white lie until it turns into your entire lifestyle. In order to keep up this lie, you got to keep telling more lies. Yep. So keep lying if you want to. One day, everything done in the dark will come to light. All right? Sorry, sir.
No, it's for the sake of time, I'm just have y'all read in English. If I could real quick before we continue, just to go off what you were saying, like, yeah, man, like just don't lie. It's not worth it. Like you said, like lying is like a snowball roll. Like it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, so you can't handle it no more. It takes more effort to lie than it does to tell the truth.
Right.
I promise you, man, it's not worth it. And like you said, like, why are you lying? Especially lying on your brother. Like, that's crazy. Like, you don't even know this dude. You just lying just to lie. Somebody's life is possibly in your hands. And you're just like, yeah, he did it. No, what does that say about you? And it stems from something else. Everything is intentional. I want you to understand.
Right.
Everything is intentional. Why are you lying on that brother? Because you don't like him. That's really what it is. Or you don't care about him. Or you scared of the brother next to you, like, oh yeah, well, I know he didn't do it, but he said he did it, so I gotta say that he did it.
Right.
Like, and nah. Have some balls, man.
That's gay.
Yeah, you a man pleaser. You're such a man pleaser that another man's gonna die because of it.
Wow.
That's crazy. Just throwing that out there.
And that's if I could, that's what little kids do. You know, it's crazy. Lying is a learned behavior. You know, a kid can't help but be honest. But as you grow older and older and older, you go through life, you learn how to lie your way out of things. You learn how to try and smooth talk your way out of things. It never works. I ain't gonna lie. It never works. I don't know why, because I was that child. You know what I'm saying? It never worked out until you learn to just follow orders and do what you're told and tell the truth. Do you know how simple life gets when you just do what the hell you're told and tell the truth? I say this all the time because I wish I would have known it when I was younger. Bruh, just do what you're told and tell the truth. And you're going to be good. I promise you're going to be good.
What did sister say? She said, because you have to remember the lie you told before so you don't get caught up in your... Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. It's like you got to lie to keep up the lie, but then you got to remember, I said this on January 15th.
I said it was.
So what happened was, and it's like you gotta lie, but then you gotta lie to keep up that lie, and then like I said, it's a snowball. Now it started off with that one little white lie. Now you got 100 lies around that lie.
Infinite lie glitch.
And then it's like no one really cares, dude. Like you know, like am I tripping? Like no one really cares. Like, hey, where were you on Friday? I was
So like, sir, I was at the slave.
Yeah, I was a slave.
Damn well, this nigga was at a club.
It's like, bro, you was at the club, or
That's why you didn't make it to camp.
yeah. It's like, just keep it above. You got too drunk and you wasn't able to make it. No sweat out. Just be better next time.
Right.
Hey, what we gonna do? Beat you up? Like, no. Like things happen. Like it's fine. Like you don't gotta do all that because. We care about you. We don't care that much to be worried about that. You a grown man, bro. Like it is what it is.
And if I could too, what's it called? Dang, I've lost my train of thought.
No, you too. Yeah, just for the sake of time, we'll just read in the English. I'm gonna have y'all go up to chapter 21, verse 2. So we'll go to right now. We're in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 20. Who just read last? You read last, so I'm gonna have you read. So you'll read the next 7, and then we'll just swap off.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you.
Pretty straightforward. Keep going.
Verse 21. And thine eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
And that's fair. The Lord is fair. Y'all ain't gotta like it, and this is what we gotta like. Again, we gotta say this because these Christians out here, they be making up whatever. No, God is all loving. No, God is fair. If you are a murderer, it's only like if you're willing to take innocent lives, it's only right that you die. Or your life be taken from you, that you're now in prison for X amount of years. It's only fair because you're taking lives. That's only fair. You go around shooting people. I mean, in the world they call it karma. You going around and then, oh damn, he got shot. But it's like, well, I mean, you already done killed like 10 people with a gun, and then now you got shot. What did you think was gonna happen? That's fair. So I think the lesson is you probably shouldn't do that. That's all. Sorry.
I got it. I remember my point. I would much rather get checked by a man than get checked by the Lord. And I say this why? Because the Lord likes to go viral. Officer Nathan says this all the time. The Lord loves to go viral. When he checks you, everyone's gonna figure it out. When you get checked by a man above, he gonna call you to the back room. He gonna, you know what I'm saying, he gonna check you. You gonna take a check and you gonna walk out feel some type of way. But take it on the chin like a man. Take correction. But nigga, when the Lord check you, brother, it's raps. It's grace. Just call it quits.
Nah, for real.
Like at that point, you just what can you do? It's only going to be of the Lord that, we find out that you're getting a popsicle stick shoved up your behind by your wife.
And it's like, whoa.
You could have called for counsel before it then came out to the internet. You could have got checked and you could have got told that you were all types of disgusting, you know what I'm saying, sick bastards by a man. And then guess what? And then be forgiven. You know what I'm saying? And then change your ways. Instead, now the entire internet knows that you like it in your behind. And now no one can take you serious. And now and now there's another break off of a break off because we found out that you are a pogo stick. You know what I'm saying? The Lord loves to go viral, and it's been evident in everyone that tries to come up against Isupk. What's the leader? I ain't even gonna say his name. They deserve no recognition.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But the Stones,
yeah,
he was defecating in his wife's underwear and liking videos of Transformers.
just
A sexual deviant. Now he could have changed his way. He could have called for counsel, admit that he was wrong, and you know what I'm saying, and went about it the right way. But instead, he wanted to do these things in the darkness of his in his own home, try to come up against the Isupk. The Lord checked him. I don't even hear about them no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, good.
There's a reason.
It's-
Everything
it's
he's
a
saying
good
is
reason.
like this has happened.
Yeah, these is fake scenarios. This is true.
Like this is not a what if. This is a it happened.
Yeah.
Because again, you're right. Like the Lord has a way of exposing you. That's what He gonna do. You're right. Like I'd rather just get told like, hey,
You tripping.
like all right, like and you're right. You might feel some type in the moment, but it's in the moment though. What isn't it better to just feel some type in the moment? Like just recognize like you know what, man, maybe I was, maybe I did do this. All right, and then guess what? Move on. You know, if you need extra help, you know, just brothers, you know, get some guidance, you know, go to counsel, whatever. You know. No. Now everybody knows that you get big. And we're cracking jokes about it now because everybody knows. Like it is what it is. It's like that's what you chose to do. You were a sexual deviant. You couldn't let go of that lust. And you started doing all types of weird stuff, and then the Lord got tired of you, and well, everybody knows. You could have just stopped and stopped lying. That's all I have. So we have we're in chapter 20 now.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20. When thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee up and out of land of Egypt. So, verse 2. And it shall be when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people. Verse 3. And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. Verse 4. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you.
All right, so I'm gonna have y'all swap in a second. Before we go to verse 5, I just want y'all to understand something, because I already know there's people that are gonna watch the class, and you know you're still gonna question certain things. Do you like we're talking about from a psychological aspect? You start to believe and do what you believe and do. Does that make sense? If you wake up every single day and you say, "I hate myself," in fact, you start to believe that. Your confidence starts to go down. You start to not like yourself. You start to deteriorate in your mind, right? But if you wake up every day and you say, I'm gonna be the best version that I can. The Lord is with me. You say, you know, I'm gonna have a great day today. You start off positive thoughts, right? Your actions start to reflect that. And you do that every day. To the point where that's all you think. You wake up every day like, you know what? You might have dreaded going on a run before. I really don't want to go on that run. But one day you just switched up your thinking. I'm gonna go on my run at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna feel good after. And then you just keep doing it. Now it's like, you know what? You feel good about yourself. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because it says right here, and ye shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint. Fear not and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. Meaning, don't waver. Don't have it in your mind like, oh, you like, you guys as men, right? Look, I don't care if this brother bigger than you, smaller than you, whatever. If you go into a fight, and it's like, look, you in one of them fights like it's either me and him. If you start thinking to yourself like, oh man, I don't know if I take this dude, you're gonna lose. You're going to lose. Why? Because you already lost in your mind. That's a psychological thing that a lot of boxers do too. They get in your head. There was actually Mike Tyson. He said he a little crazy, but he did say something that did make sense one time. He said like every time he would fight his opponents, he would stare at them, just like this the entire time. And he said if they looked away from you, they broke eye contact. He said I already beat them, already got them because they're afraid. And guess what? He won every time. Because they already lost in their mind. So what I'm telling you is the Lord is with you.
Right.
If you're righteous, the Lord is with you. Don't waver. Don't think, I don't know if I know the Lord is with you. But you gotta believe in that though. Because if you don't believe in that, yes, you are going to be fearful. Your heart is gonna waver. Your mind might wander and you're gonna lose. Don't lose.
Right.
It's a lot.
God, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, verse 5. And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, what man is there that hath built a new house, and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house. Least he died in the battle, and another man dedicated. Verse 6. And what man is he that hath planted a vineyard, and hath not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat it. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife, and hath not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further to the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
So if I could real quick, right? Let me ask y'all, what are y'all getting from this? Like from verse 4, was it 5 to stop at 9? What are you getting from that? Go ahead.
That when we're going out to war, is the warriors going is like if the brother is like he just started a life or he just started a house. Go home. Do your house first, or be with your wife first. It's not just everybody's going. It seems like it's the brothers that need to fight will go fight, and then how it says in verse 8 how if it's a man that is fearful, to keep the fearful men away from the warriors. So it's almost like going back to what we were saying, the fairness of it, the fairness to where if you just got married, not have you go out there and fight to next thing your wife is not going to have a husband.
Okay, so you're kind of on it. So I'm gonna give you a little bit more context. So where it says, let's go back to verse 5, right? It says, and the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, what man is there that hath built a new house and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and yet in another man dedicated. So in a sense, yes, it's like if you already started life, again, like you said, the fairness, right? The Lord recognizes that. He ain't gonna have you go out there and like die. You know what I mean? Like it's like you already got like a promised life and stuff, or it's like, you got a baby on the way, or like, you're set to be married, stuff like that, right? He don't necessarily want you out there. But what you can also take from this is going back to fearing the Lord, right? if you going out there with the mindset, like even with the warriors, right? The Most High he never really wants you to die. You ever like get that? Like, even if you're a warrior in the Lord's army, right? You go out there and you doing your due diligence, but sometimes things happen, and yes, sometimes brothers your life does get taken at some time, right? But the thought of it is, when you are out there, you still have that mindset, like don't go out there with this might sound crazy. Don't go out there with the mindset of I'm gonna go battle and I'm just gonna die. Go out there with the mindset of I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna fight for my nation and I am gonna return.
Right.
Like you get what I'm saying? Like, so you were right, by the way. I just want to like add on to that as well. Like, you should have that type of mindset. Like, I am gonna come back. I am gonna come back and drink with my brothers. I am gonna go see my wife. I'm gonna go see my kid, and I'm gonna win. Right. The mindset, right? That's why I was going over like, don't get into the mindset like you are what you think you are. If you start thinking of yourself negatively, if you have the mindset of like, I'm gonna go out here and I don't know if I'm gonna make it back, man. Like, nah, don't talk like that. Like, one of the demons that we don't talk about enough is doubt. Doubt is a hell of a demon. Doubt will stop. Think about it. Doubt will stop you from succeeding. How many opportunities? I'm guilty of it too. How many opportunities have you missed because you doubted yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about a lot, like lust and envy and jealousy, but like doubt is a hell of a demon. That's all. It's a lot. You stopped at verse 9?
Verse 8. I didn't read verse 9.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so 9, and then we'll finish at 12.
If I could, sir.
Go ahead.
To add on what you're saying, now you can't have that mindset of, yeah, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to win, I'm going to come back home, I'm going to return with my brothers, I'm going to drink with my brothers, and then not put in the work. You can talk a tough talk all you want to. You can say all you want to. You could be in that mindset, but when it comes to putting in that work, you better be ready to put in that work to fulfill that. What black parents be saying? Don't write a check your ass can't cash. You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing that you're going to end up regretting. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be in that mindset, be in that mindset. That's why the scriptures say, I would rather have you be all the way hot or all the way cold. Don't say that I'm west. I'm down for the truth, that, and third. And when it come down to put boots on the ground and put in that work, when it come down to actually suffering and actually enduring what like the scripture says, and you can't do it, brother, you know what you are? You're a liar. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you just talk the tough talk. When it come down to suffering and time to endure, when your woman leave you, that's why you can't leave. You was saying all this time, man, that bro leave me, man. I'm just get me 3 more. Oh, really?
All right.
Really? You know, Satan be listening, right? He listens to all your conversations. He's there. Nigga be like, okay, no sweat. She walk out the door the next morning. And you stuck. You don't know what to do with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk a tough talk when you cannot back it up. Brother, if everybody's not like that. Not everyone can go through the harshest things in life. Not everyone is built for that. You know what I'm saying? If that's not you, brother, that's not you, that's fine. But if you want that to be you, brother, if you say that's you, when it come time, brother, I guess we'll just have to find out, you know? Mm-hmm. I guess we'll just see.
That's why sometimes it's better to be quiet.
Yeah, just shut up.
Not even on no coward stuff. Like,
right.
Like, look, before we continue real quick, y'all remember Job, right? Y'all know about the book of Job. Y'all know what he went through. Hey, look, I'll tell you right now, the Lord was flexing Job. Like Satan had a conversation with the Most High. You understand that? Like, and he was like, I can corrupt him. The Lord was like, not him.
Job?
Job?
Why you tripping?
Job? Nah. You know what? Matter of fact, I dare you. Go ahead. It's Satan. Hey, look, me personally, I would not want to go through what Job went through. I'm a Satan. I don't want to go through that. I'm being real. All right. But Job was like that. And he went through a lot. And we could talk about that at a different time because, for time's sake, but hey, look, Job had to go through some stuff, man. All right. Sometimes it's just best to be quiet. I can promise you right now, not everybody's like Job. I'm just saying. It's a lot. We can continue. Go ahead.
If I could, so like to add on to your point, what you're saying, Job didn't know he was going to get rewarded for this. Job didn't know that it was a reward at the end of the tunnel, at the end of all the tribulation. You know what Job was doing? Job was enduring, like the scripture says. Job was enduring, like the Lord and all the prophets told him. Job trusted in the Lord. Job lost everything.
No, for real.
When I say everything, I mean everything. His health, his wealth, his children, his servants, his land, his houses. But you know what Satan left? Satan left that woman. Whew. Brother, that woman said, man, curse God and die.
That was
Bruh.
crazy.
Bruh. It's a reason why Satan left that woman. Curse God and die?
Overlook at her. What? Hey.
Bruh. But you know what Job did? Job endured.
Mm-hmm.
So without knowing that it was a reward at the end of the tunnel. So that's what you need to do. Just endure, just because you have to. Not because I want to get rewarded. Do it because you have to. Do it because the scripture says so. Do it because Christ did it. You know what I'm saying? It's lucky.
Go ahead. Are you too wild? You have verse 9.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 9. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. And when the Lord thy God hath delivered it unto thy hands.
12, that's it. Verse 12. Yeah, we went a little miscalculation earlier, but yeah, that's it. So for the sake of time, the water for everybody that tuned in for the class, again, like if I didn't get to like comment necessarily on your comment, I just want everybody to know who's in the chat. We do see your comments and it's always appreciated. Like even if we don't get to it necessarily in the moment, participation is always encouraged, right? Because everything that y'all brought out was heavy, right? There's a lot you could take from this. We talked about the justice system and how I think the lesson that you could take from this class is the Lord is fair,
Right.
all right, in all ways, right? If you do right, right will come upon you. If you do wrong, wrong will come upon you, and that's just fair. And it doesn't matter. Like there's plenty of examples we can talk about in the Bible. It doesn't matter if you are the poorest brother or the richest brother. If you are a wealthy sister or a poor sister, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about the vanity of things. We're talking about you as a brother or a sister, right? Everybody is subjugated to the law. Doesn't matter. We talked about King David and what he did, and he got that brother. No, sorry, it wasn't a brother. It was actually it was Uriah. Yeah. And he was murdered, but he did it in a way because he wanted Bathsheba. Y'all know about that. But my point is, like, he was punished for that, right? This is King David, great man, right? But, hey, look, wrong is wrong. Solomon, great man. He started sleeping with heathen women and he started worshiping their gods.
Right.
Guess what? You had to pay dues. It is what it is, right? You had to lose out on some stuff. Samson, we talk about Samson all the time. Samson was strong, right? He died because he wanted to sleep with a Philistinian woman. All right, there's plenty. Even before he was Abram, right? He had to get checked. Remember when he was wandering through Egypt and he had Sarai with him at the time, and he was scared. This wife shouldn't lie. He lied and said that was his sister. And then what happened? You remember what happened? Real quick.
So that king
Go ahead.
almost slept with her, but then I think the Lord went to the king and he checked Abram and said, "Why you tell me that?"
The water. Yes, that's exactly what happened. He went to him like, "Oh, this is your sister. Like, how much you want for your sister?" And then it's like you should have just been honest right there and said, like, "Hey, this is my wife." Because then he looked at him because the Lord checked him. Pharaoh looked like, "Whoa, wait, hold up. This is your wife. Like, why did you just say that? You bring this evil into my home. Like, man, take your wife and go. Like, I don't want none of this."
Right.
Now, just imagine if he just would have told the truth. But that was a lesson he had to learn, right? My point is, the Lord is fair. It's being real, all right? So, you got anything before we end the class?
Lots.
All right, so for the sake of time, we'll just end it with salute. So, Amijim, for all brothers, all stand. All right, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teachers. So, men of Israel, Amijim, Amijim Shabbat, Amijim, Barak,
Yahweh Shimei Yahshua Barakatham.
Yahweh Shimei Yahshua Barakatham.
Yajmatah, class dismissed.